you guys? This is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be chatting about all the things that I think you need to get done before Fortuna drops. Now, as many of you guys are fully aware, DE has announced the fact that Fortuna will be releasing sometime in November. Now, if history has taught us anything, DE loves to toss down a little bit of a trailer site to show off some of the marketing about what's to come with Fortuna. However, if you watched my previous video, you'll know that they did something a little bit different this time. They've actually released an ARG that involves the Solaris United, which I believe is the faction that we will be finding in Fortuna. So this time, they're drawing us in with a little bit of the lore. Now, I'm not saying that Fortuna is going to drop next week or the week after, but what I am saying is DE is revving up their motors. You know what I mean? Like the gears are turning and they're getting nice and warmed up for the drop. When the drop's gonna be, no clue, but where there is smoke, there will eventually be fire. Maybe. Listen, I'm not a scientist, but that's a thing that I've heard people say, so I'm saying it again. Now, as many of you guys are fully aware, we are in a bit of a content drought, but just because we don't necessarily have a whole bunch of new content to go through, aside from arbitrations, we can get under some old content in order to get some things done. So let's go ahead and jump on in onto my list of the things that will make your Fortuna launch as a player go smoothly. Listen, I can't control what happens with DE's bugs and stuff, but you can control all of the things that you've prepped for it. So, if I'm going to be honest with you, this very first one definitely applies to me because it's something that I have been ignoring for quite some time. Y'all need to get your Forma ducks in a row. Get a bunch of Forma. Go ahead and get it crafted, knock it out, farm those blueprints, and make sure that you have a stash, because if you have not been paying attention, Fortuna is going to have a lot of things that you may want to Forma. Now, straight out of the gate, we have kit guns. And I know that some people may not be like, oh yeah, we've got kit guns. Wow, no big deal. However, last time that this happened, we of course got Zaws. But Zaws are melee weapons with stances. That means that the stances will improve the polarity count. So there's more, no, not polarity count, mod count. Mod point counts, that's what I'm trying to say. So of course you get a boost in mod points that way, and when you guild it you get one polarity. And there are many melee weapons that will run off of that just fine. However, if we take a look at how secondaries work, I mean really, look at your favorite secondary that you like invested some time in. If it's more than one Forma, you're gonna have to make up the gap with that. And remember, there are a lot of juicy primed mods for your secondary, so it's gonna be a little expensive when it comes down to the Forma, and because of the fact that these are kit guns, and you'll be able to craft something that is personally yours, and something that you will most likely end up loving, you're probably gonna have 1, 2, maybe even 3 that are absolutely top tier that you're gonna wanna go ahead and invest into. So think about 1 gun that you format a whole bunch, and now think about 3 guns that you really like. But we're not stopping there, because that's not the only thing that you can craft in Fortuna. We also have pet MOAs. So of course you're going to be able to create your own MOA, so you're going to need to put Forma in that as well. And I'm not even stopping there, because, you know, I'm just making the pile even bigger and bigger and bigger. One of the things that DE has stated, so keep in mind, I'm basing this off of what DE has stated. If they lie, then it doesn't matter. But they did say that the MOAs would be able to use Sentinel weapons. So if you have any Sentinel weapons that you really do enjoy, and you want to help out the leveling experience of your MOAs, you might want to start forming a couple of your Sentinel weapons as well. The more kills they get, the more XP that they're going to end up having, so you know, it's a good time all around, especially if you want to be able to high-five those little boogers, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. But we haven't even gotten to the fact that Garuda will be dropping with the update as well, so she'll definitely need at least 1 or 2 Forma, and if you're going to try to run an Umbral Garuda, that might require even more. Not only that, she'll probably be coming with more than 1 weapon. So far we've seen the crossbow, but you never know. There might be something that comes with her as well that might be worth forming too. So now we've got kit guns, we've got pet MOAs, we've got Sentinel weapons, and we've got Garuda on top of that and whatever she comes with. Now, the other thing that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole Forma thing is probably not going to be as major because, you know, you don't need so many of these, but just in case, you might want to make sure that you are following Warframe alerts or have the Warframe app downloaded onto a mobile device, mainly because of the fact that you want to keep your eyes out for your Orokin catalysts, whether they be blue, whether they be gold, regardless, farm them up and get them crafted so that, you know, as soon as you get your goodies, you can go ahead and toss those potatoes on there, double that capacity, and you won't have to wait for an alert to come because you've already knocked it out. See, I'm trying to help you make sure that you are future-proofing your account. Now, the next thing that I do want to jump into is going to be a little daunting, but you can do it while you're farming Forma or while you're, you know, getting your Orokin catalysts from those alerts, is make sure that you are pushing your mastery rank. Level up as much as you possibly can when it comes to that, mainly because of the fact that your mastery rank is also tied to your daily cap on Syndicates. So you have to remember that Fortuna, the Solaris United, is going to be a Syndicate, and the Vent Kits are going to be a Syndicate as well. When I talked about the kit guns and I talked about the MOAs, those are all fine and well and dandy, but the thing is you won't be able to get all of the best blueprints straight away. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to need to grind up in order to get the parts that you want. So if you've got a bigger daily pool, you've got a larger cap on your daily pool, you'll be able to max out those standings a lot faster and get to higher and higher tiers and then get your hands on all of the cool blueprints. So that's something that you definitely need to make sure that you are doing, even if it's something that you've just got some spare parts for or whatnot, just something that you need to grab. Make sure you go ahead and get that knocked out ahead of time, mainly because of the fact that, you know, the less time that you spend waiting, the more time you get to love on all of your new secondary pistols. And I'm really excited because they do seem to have some cool things, and not just that. Who knows? They might have some Exodias, or at least their version of Exodias for those pistols, so that might be something juicy to get your hands on as well. So we've got your Formas, we've got your Orokin catalysts, we've got your mastery rank. The next thing that I do kind of want you to push you guys to do, just in case, you know, you don't necessarily want to spend money on the game, if you want, Arbitrations is probably a good time to go ahead and try to farm up some of those mods so that you can sell them for plat. Because maybe you don't want to do the Garuda quest when it comes out. Maybe you want her straight out the gate. Maybe they tweak her ult so she does a nice little strut for whatever the hell she's going to be doing with that kit. So keep that in mind. If you need to go ahead and farm up a little bit of plat, Arbitrations are there for you. You can go ahead and get your hands on whatever bundles they release straight out of the gate, so that way you can just kind of jump into the content without having to do quests or any of that. But, you know, that is totally up to you. Also, in addition to that, one of the things that I do want to point out is that in the Syndicates, we just did get new Captura scenes. So just in case some people are out there looking for Captura scenes, you might want to max out your Syndicates as well to kind of like say, hey, I could hook you up with some Captura scenes, I could hook you up with some augments, whatever it is. Just make sure that you have that available and ready just in case you want to go ahead and farm up some Forma. Now, the last thing that I kind of want to point out, and this is going to be a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys are going to like be super jazzed about this, but you might want to start working on your arc wings. I know that it's a little bit odd to point out, but they did mention in one of the previous streams that they are looking to make arc wing weapons usable on land. So you never know if that's actually going to be a part of this update or if it's going to be part of a next update, but they did have it geared up pretty well. They had a lot of animations that are going out there, and if you need to mastery rank up some items, most likely your arc wings are going to be the things that you need to dust up. So go ahead and jump into those, get your mastery rank done with them, and go ahead and level up some of those weapons, because the big thing is, if you can use those weapons for your mastery rank and end up using them in actual combat, that might be a bit juicy. Alright, now the last thing that I am going to point out here, and I don't necessarily think that you guys need to do it super duper much, however, it is something that might come up as Arbitrations has become available. As you guys know, there is tons and tons and tons of endo available from Arbitrations. too much endo in my opinion. But you have to remember that in Fortuna, there are going to be new mod sets. So if you are running low on your endo, this is your time to go ahead and run those arbitrations, level up things, you know, and grab all of those ITAN sculptures and go ahead and turn them in and whatnot and stock up on piles and piles of endo because of the fact that there are going to be new mods released. So new mods, we've got the Arcwing weapons, we've got the Mastery rank, and we've got all of the forma that you need to get. There are a ton of things out there for you guys to kind of do. While it might not be new content, this is something that will make things smoother for you guys. Now, if anybody else wants to chime in with some of the things that you might want to get done before Fortuna drops, be sure to leave that down in the comments below. Share and share alike, we're a family here, and maybe, let's just say, I might have to add something to my list to do because I got a lot. Let's just say that. Regardless, that does about do it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications because we do have that Solaris United ARG going on, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that you guys get all of the information that you possibly can, and there might be some interesting things involved with it that you might not want to miss out on. Regardless, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!